everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to do an unboxing of The Last of Us Escape the Dark by Naughty Dog and Themeborne games. It's a game for 1 to 5 players which plays in about 1 to 2 hours for ages 14 and up. And before I open up the box and show you all the contents, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. It really helps the channel, and if you're already subscribed, you're an absolute legend. Thank you very much. Also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below, and there you can see what kind of perks you can get as a supporter of my channel, and it's also greatly appreciated. Well, with that out of the way, let's open up the box and check what's inside. Alright, so this is the box for The Last of Us Escape the Dark. I really like the cover art. It's very gloomy, all done with just ink on paper, black and white, really cool. Side of the box has the title vertically, so you can store your box vertically, which is pretty nice. And the back of the box, of course, shows some of the contents, the board layout, all the dice and stuff that you get, the cubes, the tokens, and of course the cards, all in that same black and white style, which we know from Themeborne games, from Escape the Dark Castle and Escape the Dark Sector. So really cool. Same on this side, and these sides, the top and bottom, have it horizontally. All right, let's open it up. There we go. So first of all, we get the rule book, which has all the fungus on it, which is pretty thematic and cool. And it sits nicely in this insert. Look at that. They designed an insert to hold everything, it seems. So, of course, the rule book has an overview and a story and an index, which is always good, and a setup page right here. How to prepare your survivors with your dice, your inventory, character flaws, how to play the game, of course. You've got an action phase, you can camp, explore, you can search, clearing a location, and other things, preparation actions, end of the day. And here's an example even of what might happen on a day. There's combat, and for those you of course need those dice. You got a pre-combat phase, a listen round, a sneak round, really cool. Combat rounds, melee attack action, a shoot attack action, and a throw attack action. You have to reload. You can withdraw or bypass. Another example, this time of combat. And how you end the game, how you win or lose. And then we have some other products from Themeborne games. Both of these you can find on my channel as well. Reviews and unboxings. And special thanks to all the backers. Look at that. That's a lot of names. They needed many pages for that. So yeah, this is a pretty thick rule book, but that's half of it is basically the rules, so it's not that bad. All right, then we have the board, which is pretty thick. It folds in 6, it seems. Yeah, so like this first, and then let's see how that works. Oh, it's all right. So it works like this, and then that way. Okay, and this goes down then. Okay, it's a bit odd, but it works. All right. So there you go. That's a big board. It doesn't even fit into my frame entirely. But this is the bottom part. And then if I fold this back in, here's the top part. It's a pretty big board. That's really cool. All right, let me just put that aside for now. Then we have these character boards, and they are dual layer boards, thick cardboard, with the character, of course, here, and all kinds of slots for cubes and stuff for your health. These things here, draw blind, take the lead, or sneak. You've got your stats right there. There's some cubes that go here and here, and spaces for cards. All right, cool. On the back, simply says The Last of Us Escape the Dark. So we have the board for Ellie. We have a board for Joel. We have a board for Tess. We have a board for Tommy. There you go. Now, of course, they all have different stats. And here is a Bill. And Marlene. All the characters from the game. Okay, so then I guess you take this out. So this tray holds all of those things. They put in some cardboard here, which I guess you don't need to keep in. And then we have a tray, a couple of trays for all the dice and the tokens. So that's really handy. It's already basically in its spot. And it has lids as well, so you can take these out. That's a bit difficult because there's no like holes to grab them, but all right, works. So this tray here, already pre-punched, which is very nice. All of these tokens, so exclamation marks and X's, and this is a really thick cardboard. That's really, really thick tokens. Then we have a bag of these. They look black, kind of charcoal-like. Let me just take a closer look at that. It might just be the bag, but no, they're dark gray, like an anthracite gray. That's really cool. So we have a whole bag of those, which can be stored in that slot. We have 2 round tokens here, and I think those are plastic too. Yeah, they are. They're not wood. These are plastic, a black and a white tracker token. So I'll just keep those in here with those cubes. And then we have these, I guess, ranged attack dice, which have, let's take a look at the faces of these dice, either a blank or a circle. So we have 1, 2 blanks, 2 blanks, and 4, no, wait, 3, 4, yeah, 4, after all. 4 crosshairs and 2 blanks. All right, so we have a whole bunch of these, 12 to be exact, and all of that can be stored in this tray here, and it has a lid. And then we have another tray with a whole bunch of dice. We have all of these dice, which is really cool. These action dice with the faces that we know from Escape the Dark Castle and Sector. I always forget which one is which. This is Might. That's your strength or your power. Then you have Wisdom and what was the other one again? Cunning. Yeah, so this is Wisdom and the I is Cunning. So yeah, there we go. And there's a whole bunch of these. And of course, they also have double faces. So one with Cunning and Might, one with Wisdom and Might, and one with Wisdom and Cunning. So, you know, everything is represented on these dice. That's really cool. So look at that. There's a whole bunch of these. Then we have more of these, I guess, ranged attack dice. But these are black. And these have, let's see if they're different. So they have 1, 2, 3 crosshairs and 3 blanks. So I guess a lower chance of hitting than the white ones, which have 4 crosshairs. And then we have these character dice. And these are unique, all unique custom dice, one for each character, which represents their stats. So for example, here you have Joel, name is on the die, who has, let's take the character board and we can check that. So Joel there has 4 might, 2 cunning, and 3 wisdom, and that should be on this die. So we have 1, 2, 3, and a crit. So that's new then, I guess. So yeah, he's got 3 might faces and a crit, which might mean that all 3 are included here on this face. I don't know. I haven't read the rules yet, but that could indicate because we need a fourth one. Then cunning, yeah, there's only this one, none other here. So I guess that is what the crit means. And then wisdom, there's 1, 2, and again, yeah, 1, 2, and then the crit. So this has all three, the stats, and a shield here, which is used in defense. So yeah, represents that character. And of course, all of them have these with their name on it, which is really cool. It's Bill, Tess, Ellie, Tommy, and Marlene. So those go in there with those dice, and you can, you know, divide them however you want in these 2 trays, but that's really handy. You can just take them out, put them on the table, and I love that. I love that. It's very functional. And then finally, we have a tray with the item cards here, the smaller cards, and the big cards. So the chapter cards, and those are really cool. So let's open this up first. So there's a whole bunch of location cards here. There's the lakeside, for example. There's a number of those. There's the university. There's the sewers. And there's the downtown area and the suburbs. Now, if you don't want to see what's on these cards, it's a little bit spoilery. Just skip ahead for a little bit. But I'll show you just a few. So here we go. So for example, here, you just flip over one of those cards and see what happens. And you read a bit of text, and then the card will tell you what happens. So in this case, discard a threat token, then search. So that's good. Here you say, for example, all survivors present must roll hit dice equal to the threat level, losing 1 hit point for each of these crosshairs rolled. So those are the hit dice. And if you survive, discard a threat token and then search. So you got a bunch of those, and there's all kinds of really cool illustrations on these, all in black and white. And of course, you got these clickers and bloaters and these infected. So that's really cool. All from the game. And hey, there was also a TV show, which was pretty good. So we have these chapter or location cards. Then we have some more cards. So we also have these character reference cards, basically, rules reference cards. So all the things you can do. There's 2 of these. They're double-sided, so you can, you know, put these in the middle of the table somewhere so everybody can read them, which is very handy. And then we have some location clear cards and some, I guess these are end game cards, locations where you need to go, or maybe you have chapter endings. So again, if you don't want to see what's on this, just skip ahead a couple of seconds. So we have this bloater, infected swarm, and then a Fedra blockade, which I guess, yeah, are big challenges you need to overcome. And here are these infected cards. On one side, it says what happens when the location is clear, and then turn over now. And then there's also some text here, which is different on these cards. I guess, yeah, they're all slightly different. So different things can happen. All right, that's the big cards. Let's look at the small ones. All right, so there's a whole bunch of cards that you find in this deck. There's item cards, which have this backpack on them. There's a whole stack of those, and I'll just go through a few. So for example, there's a sugar, and you can combine them so you can craft things. There's explosives here, rags, alcohol, blades, binding tape, bricks, bottles, ammo, of course, a whole bunch of ammo, snack bar, canned food. So those are the items. Then you have crafted items, which are these cards. So if you combine 2 of those item cards, you can get a different card like this, like a shiv, a smoke bomb, a nail bomb, a Molotov, a health kit, very important. Then we have some starting weapon cards, which are these here, it says starting weapon on them. And you have like a pistol, a revolver, a plank, and that's it. So those are the starting weapons. Then we have several stashed items. I guess there's level 1 and 2 ones. There's just ones with the 2 on the back and with the 1 on the back. So this is stashed items. This is an event. So we have events, danger avoided. We have, of course, more weapons. So you can just find those. There's more events here. El Diablo. Cool, cool, cool. Flamethrower. So all kinds of cool weapons and items. Then we have the camp cards, which are these here. And there's camp cards for 4 to 5 survivors. So I'm assuming there's also for 2 to 3 survivors here. And they just have text on them. A junkyard or medical supplies. So I guess you can put your survivors on here. So you can put one character here and one character here. Put their minis on there if you have them, or tokens. And because the survivors also have tokens. And, you know, one of those characters gets that boon, I guess, from resting at the campsite. All right, then we have some upgraded weapon cards. So again, more weapons, and they say upgraded in the top right there as well. And this is how you use them. So we have all of those. All right. Then we have a few cards here that say special ability. I guess there's one for each character. No, there's 5 of these, so let's have a look. So I guess any character can get these. You can be stealthy, you can be dependable, relentless, attuned, or ferocious. So I guess that can help your characters. And then finally, we have a few of these Fedra Quarantine Zone cards, QZ. Again, for 4 to 5 survivors or 2 to 3 survivors. And here you can see what you can get. Each survivor taking this route loses 1 hit point. Ooh. 2 hit points. Even you draw items. So yeah, you can do different things there. All right, so those are all the cards. And that's what you will find inside a box of The Last of Us Escape the Dark. And so that was my unboxing of The Last of Us Escape the Dark by Naughty Dog and Themeborne. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.